Data science is a constantly evolving field, and so there is need for continuous development. As someone who intends to be a better version of themselves, to be able to create even more value for the company I work for and also for myself, I plan to improve as a data scientist. And in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you what are my plans to get better as a data scientist. You're going to be hearing the things I'm telling myself, and hopefully it is also very helpful for you. So let's go. The first thing I want to do is I want to learn more. As I earlier said, this field is constantly changing. I want to learn about the new developments in the field. I want to learn about the new systems and methodologies for doing things. For example, one thing I'm doing right now, I'm currently enrolled in the LLM Zoom Camp course by Data Talks Club. I'm learning about building LLMs, RAGs, open source LLMs, monitoring LLMs, orchestrations, etc. My aim in taking this course alongside watching several YouTube videos and reading articles is to make sure that I keep myself updated on the latest developments in the field. I know that knowing this improves my arsenal to be able to increase my worth as a data scientist. And of course, everyone knows now they talk about AI and generative AI and the likes. And I sincerely don't want to be left out with that. I want to learn more about it. I want to be able to implement it, and I want to be able to do it. And so I'm doing all of this to be able to learn more, catch up with the latest trends. And this leads me to my second point. I want to, in the coming months and in the coming years, I want to attend more meetups. You see, the beauty about meetups is first the possibility to be able to build connections. You meet people who are doing sometimes the same things you're doing, or in a larger scale, or maybe in a smaller scale, or doing different things apart from what you're doing that would also be very interesting. And then you also see what other data scientists are building, the amazing things they are using, doing with data science, and the amazing technologies and tools they are also using that might maybe in the future even be helpful for you. This sort of expands your horizon and your thinking, and it sort of opens you to know that no matter what you're doing right now, there is even more possible. Earlier this year, I was in a meetup with data leaders. It was a specific meetup for anyone who was in a leadership position in a data team, and I had just been promoted as a team lead then, and maybe not just, but I was a team lead then, and just being there, interacting with other data heads of data science, I saw new ideas being implemented, and importantly, I also saw that the challenges that I was facing as a team lead of a data science team wasn't just particular to me, that it was also, and that was really good. It was sort of a real morale booster to say that, okay, my problems are not particular to me, and I was also able to glean ideas by interacting with people to just share what solutions they were trying to implement, and that has really been a big encouragement for me. Also in the coming years and months, I want to be able to even attend even more meetups, both in my city where I live. I want to be able to attend more meetups in the country, and of course also internationally, and possibly also maybe share and give talks about my expertise as well. Sometime last year, I was already programmed to give a talk about one amazing machine learning model that I built for my team, and now that has been able to bring value to my company and simplify our process, but that wasn't possible, and it's something that I really look forward to be able to do in the future. So attend more meetups, meet people, see the things that other people are doing, and be able to share experiences with other data scientists out there in the field, to be able to challenge yourself and also raise the bar even higher. The next thing I want to do is I want to improve in my communication skills. You see, one of the non-technical skills people often don't know that a data scientist needs is the ability to communicate. As a data scientist, you need to be able to explain your results, your findings. You need to be able to explain, to share how they directly help the business you work for to grow or achieve their target. I think that the way I see the role of a data scientist is not just computer facing, where you're just writing codes and you're just enjoying yourself. No, you need to be able to do that, but you need to be able to share the result of you doing that and how it helps the company to drive value and to bring them towards the goal that they've sort of set up. As a data scientist, you might be, excited about the latest ML models and how beautiful your Python codes look, which you should be, don't get me wrong. But the truth is, the company is not paying you to write codes. I think that's the bitter truth. They're not paying you to build machine learning models. They are paying you to use your tools, writing codes, machine learning models, to bring value to the company. So you must be able to carefully explain how your work brings value, and I really want to emphasize the word value here. This gets even more important and more serious as you climb up the data leadership ladder, leading data teams and speaking more with the top level. You see that at that point, they don't care about Python or R. You care about that because it is a tool for you to be able to bring value. For me, this is one area that I would like to improve on. I would like to get better in being able to communicate my thoughts, being able to explain my decisions and machine learning models to the team. Now, takes me to my fourth point. But before I go there, if you've seen this video to this point, please consider subscribing and liking this video so that the YouTube algorithm can also show other people. Now, the next thing I want to do in my journey to improve myself as a data scientist is I want to read more books. The reason for this is to remind myself of the basics of data science. Over time, I have noticed that with a good understanding of the basics, it is easier for you to learn about new technologies. It is easier for you to learn about new methodologies out there and tools. I stand to be corrected, but many machine learning algorithms and deep learning are at the core, at the core of it, you will find that many of them are working on similar principles and ideas in mathematics, mostly linear algebra or optimization. So when you understand all of these basics properly, you will be able to understand how those tools work easily and faster. You would also be able to even explain them to non-technical or non-data audiences. Once the basics are well understood, you can easily build on top of this to learn more and more and build more. Like they say that go deep before going wide. So I really want to remind myself of that because if you work in a business sense, you might just forget about that without understanding that you need to master all of those to be able to do your job. Even though I have a mathematics background, I like to read more books just to remind myself of some of the basics that I learned already that I probably have forgotten. So one of my aims, one of the things I want to do to become better is to read more books, basically just basics. The next thing I want to do to become an elite data scientist or to get better as a data scientist is I want to listen to more elite data scientists. To become one of the best, you have to listen to the best, literally. I think we live in a world where knowledge is freely available. These days, there are loads of podcasts, there are loads of YouTube videos, there are loads of mailings that you can easily and freely subscribe to. I've got a couple of podcasts like the Super Data Scientist, the Data Scientist Show, Data for Good podcast, which is from Berlin here, that I've enjoyed, and I like to keep listening to that. And when I say I want to keep listening to that is I want to form an habit of actually listening to them on a frequent basis. What I'm trying to do with all of this is just to be able to teach myself the thinking pattern of a great data scientist. How does an elite data scientist think? And when you listen to elite data scientists and how they attack and how they attend to problems, you will also be able to think in that pattern and in that method. And generally, I want to keep myself updated, like I shared in my first point, about the recent happenings in the data field in general. And I think that with all of these YouTube videos and podcasts and newsletters, you can easily and very well do that in general. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please check out my previous video where I shared my thoughts on the present data science job market and how you can stand out. Check it out, and I'll see you soon.